So there's so many pairings that came out. We'll just pull through them. Alchemy, number 8. This is karma. That wheel, how is it turning? Have you been doing the good work or the bad work? Have you been investing in good people or bad people? So alchemy is taking everything within your environment and being the magician, the master alchemizer, the high priestess in your life. It's how are you taking every element and making life your own? If today's reality were to be your forever existence, what would you make your life look like? Like, I've kind of started thinking about that as like, Corona gave me the perspective of we were all too busy. We were all too busy running around. We weren't paying attention to what mattered. We weren't paying attention to our loved ones, and we got put in timeout. And what I realized while sitting there, like, I had a beautiful home, but it wasn't my own. Like, I didn't feel at home in my home, and the people that I was around, I didn't know. So Corona, and they had like very diametrically opposing views. Not that their views were wrong, but like we were like oil and water. So it was like Corona started saying, like, for me personally, because I spent so much time avoiding my house since childhood, that when Corona hit and I was put in timeout at home, it was like, I don't like where I'm sitting. I don't like the environment I'm in. So it's, how have we taken those lessons and how are we using that to alchemize our most beautiful life? If you had to be in that house today for the next however long during lockout, would you be happy in your environment? Do you have a place that you can plant a garden? Do you have the people in your life that you want? Do you have the knowledge, the tools, the resources, anything like that? And if you don't, start pulling in those pieces to build your nest. So alchemy, this is bringing in all of those pieces to be able to sit for the long haul. A lot of the humans I say that, but like, we all need to realize that everything that we've done up to this point has created the future stage going forward. So everything that you have today, that's what you have to work with. So you're going to have to use integration. This is 33. So it's number 30, but I break that down to 3. 3 is communication. How are you taking those pieces within you, that communication that you're getting from your environment? How are you using it as feedback and communication to give you details about what you need? So divine masculine popped out. So it's 22, which is 4, stability, foundation. So divine masculine, it's that balancing, that harmonizing. How are they being truly provider, protector, leader, but also embodying their feminine and being like the divine feminine and being nurturing and embracing. So part of the journey, because it goes divine masculine, earth, which earth is an anagram for heart. Number 24, that's 6. 6 is carbon. So everything about earth ties into the divine masculine and the divine feminine. It's building. How are we building? And I'm not talking about building like the fastest cars and the biggest house and no, how are we building a legacy so that our kids have a safe and healthy environment to raise their kids in? This comes with, so earth, tap in the heart, think green, that's stability, abundance, love, nurturing. When you divine masculine and divine feminine can find harmony, because both parts have to be harmonious to be considered divine, which a lot of us struggle in and out of. A lot of us are still learning lessons as we're going through it with everyone else. So it's like I don't know, like everyone's going through all this. So give yourself grace, give everyone else grace as you go through. This whole journey is about how are you unlocking your abundance, your family, your love, your legacy within yourself with your throat chakra. So throat chakra is blue. It's air, it's communication, it's Everything is a vibration, including our voice. So when we say that we want something, we have to use our throat chakra. We have to first ask for it from our heart. Things done with bad intent in the heart, yes, they'll manifest, but then the results won't be how you think they are, that you want them to be, because you didn't do it with pure intention. So when you use your throat chakra and you're using like true intent to manifest your heart, you're going to bring it in. Everything starts as a vibration, which is our voice. We call out our intent. It's that whole like wishing upon a star, which I know sounds silly and Disney fairy princess, yet life seems so very Disney fairy princess. Nothing makes sense right now. So it's partially like laughing at all of the major drama going on in life and all the micro drama also going on in life, and being like, how can we find happiness, magic, love, anything out of this shit show dumpster fire that is the earth right now? Realization 37, which breaks down to 10, which is 1, which is completions, or ACE. The frequency of realization supports the internal process of becoming aware of our heart-centered truth. Like, if you're a man, does your heart really need that next sports car? Or that next gun? Or that next... Do you need it? Or do you need to focus on why you feel like you need a car? Like, who are you trying to impress? And if you're a woman, like, if you need a BBL, like, is that really going to help feed your children in your future? Is that the legacy that you want to leave? Like, how are you leading with your heart and not with, like, your ego and your mind and asking for things because it just feels cool or looks cool or you think it's going to fill a hole? Like, that need for more outside of us, that's like, we didn't get it at a formative age and then we're forever seeking it outside, when we have to realize, like, it's within us. So that was a lot to say all of this, but 37, realization. The frequency of realization supports the internal process of becoming aware of our heart-centered truth, as well as the external process of becoming our highest expression in this world. So as you move into love, like, how are you taking care of other people? Like, we are here to be a service to other people and to have a good life. Both things. That realization, when you start realizing you lead from your heart, you start building a bigger presence and creation in the cosmos. Do everything with love, not because you want something out of it, but just out of love. Synergy. The frequency of synergy supports our allowance and acceptance of not so obvious, never seen before combinations and unions that result in a new way of functioning, working, thinking, relating, loving, and being. It reminds us to embrace the unfamiliar so that new yet exciting co-creations can give birth to a new reality. Be willing, again, I know I said that earlier, is be willing to take in all the information and adapt, pivot, change your perspective, because what worked for the old doesn't work for the new. So when you get new information that you need for your mission, be willing to explore it. Don't be so scared. I'm going to switch decks. Let's see. I'm going to go into the Rumi Oracle. I was trying to figure out how I want to be moving today in the world. It really does feel like today is about love and self-love. I'm a Libra, so everything's about love and partnership and harmony. I was trying to say harmonious and harmony. So when we're off balance, it's not, I don't know, it's not good. So when I guess what I was trying to say is, like, when we're off balance love-wise, it's not good. Like, I found out me being off balance love life has been kind of disastrous for the town that I live in, because men, women, children fall in love with me when I'm single, because, yeah, I don't know. And I'm like, yeah, no. So when I'm in committed long-term relationships, it feels like there's not so many sad, unhappy people, like broken hearts left behind because I don't want to date. I don't know. That's not meant to sound... Yes, a lot of people want to date, but I don't want to date a lot of people. You who show the way. 33, 6. You who shows the way. Okay. Be willing to go out on your own. Be willing to forge ahead so that other people can follow behind you. That's been a really hard lesson the last few days. Is like, I feel terrified and alone, and I don't know if I'm on the right path, but then I at least know that even though the people that I loved didn't want to come along with me when I left, like, I've at least left, like, a path for them, or I've at least, like, shown them how to find the way to get there. So, like, I had to be willing to say, like, this doesn't fit for me, and I'm going to go off and do my own thing. And when you're ready, the path is there. Be brave enough to step out on the path by yourself. Be brave enough to show the way. You who show the way. Number 33. Forge ahead. If everybody else's path didn't make sense, be willing to create your own path. Because when you show people, like, this is another lesson. It's like, if I want someone to embody certain skills, qualities, or have an attribute, I have to be willing to do it, show it, express it, or hold space for them to be able to do that. So it's like, if I want someone to be a good leader, I must first be a good leader of myself. So a lot of this has been realizing that the things that I want, no one else can give because they don't embody those qualities, but I have to be willing to do that work first. Beyond death and life. This goes back to that soul expansion. It's bigger than us. It's bigger than us. Like, it's a continual cycle. Okay. And the human gift, number 17. This is a beautiful card too. Number 17 breaks out to 8. The human gift. Our gift is to be able to feel. So if you're feeling pain and you're in an environment, something needs to change for you, for the environment, for whatever it is. Like, the human gift is to be able to feel. That's what angels can't feel. When you feel something and you ask an angel for help, they can't feel the emotion that you felt, so they don't have any way to temper. So that's part of the thing, is when we're humans, we have to use that discernment. Did that person do that because they were injured and hurt, or did they do it out of malicious intent? We have to be able to feel that and then ask for help. Beyond the threshold of fear. 25, number 7, choices, options, beyond the threshold of fear. This is, you've already done the hard part. You've already stepped outside. You've already stepped on the path. You made the steps. You told everybody you were going. You can't go back. So since you're already there, you might as well keep journeying ahead, keep exploring. Let me see what fell on the ground. A bunch fell on the ground. So, a new gown. You'll be given new clothes, new positions. Number 18, that's 9. A lot of us have been going through rites of passages. We've been going through changes. We've been going through, yes, we had to prepare. We had to prepare for a new journey. We had to prepare for our new roles. Do not be scared when you're given new clothes, new titles, new roles, when you've done the work. There's a sacred union that must be found within you, within the universe. It'll bring in your person. That is a huge thing. If you want to be loved properly by someone else, you must be able to love yourself properly. So if you're on the divine feminine, divine masculine journey, if you want a divine feminine to love you and you're a man, you have to know how you need to be loved by a feminine. That's something you have to discover by yourself, though, not by making someone else show you how to be loved. So, sacred union, number 19. So these all came out in a row, 17, 18, 19, which was beautiful. Number 19, sacred union, finding that balance. So going back to that other card where it was delight was number 19, that's the sun card. When we find that harmony between the both halves of ourselves, that's it. Like, no one can take your shine. And then you'll find your person that will be the other half to your half, and you'll never lose them because you already did all the hard work to come into union with yourself. And you're not going to be with someone that doesn't have the same qualities, attributes, vibe as you. Don't settle for less. Let love transform. That's the next card. Let love transform. Number 14. And in the tarot, that would be Temperance. Let love transform. Don't let anger shape the way you feel. Like, honestly, love yourself. Love the other person. A lot of times when you realize, like, that person is just as scared and lonely small child as you are. So why would you hurt someone that you love? Because that would be like hurting yourself. Alauza, Star of Venus, number 26. This is 8. Breaks out to Karma. Alauza, Star of Venus, number 26. So it's embodying love. Venus is love. That's Libra, beauty, family, contracts, harmony, all that jazz. All right, I'm going to move out of the Rumi. Ironically, Rumi is a Libra, the Ascended Masters. So, yeah. I don't know where I was going with all that. Yeah. Libras are about love. We're about contracts. We're about fairness. We're about justice. We really hate unjustified cruelty. That's like, and lying and cheating. Those are like huge fatal flaws with Libras, like acting shady just because, like, we'll cut you off real fast because you didn't have to. All right. Messages from the Spirits of Nature Oracle. Desert. Thirst. Number 10. You've been in a drought. You've been in the desert. Okay. So we'll talk about, you've been through the desert on a horse with no name. I'll just throw out a little bit of America. And eventually you'll get to the oasis. Yeah. So your thirst, that quench, you need to sit down. How do you need to be nourishing yourself? How do you need to be resting, breathing, meditating, dropping into what you need? Because ultimately you have to fill your cup first. So if you've been in a desert, if you feel thirsty, like, sit down, drink your water. If you can't find an oasis, you'll have to make one within yourself if you have to. And that can start is finding a space that is sacred to yourself. Like, if you can't figure out how to fill your own cup, make a tiny space that is sacred, that's just for you. Like, a teeny example, if you're having a hard time and you need to process big emotions, find space in your closet to sit and process. And because it's like, if everybody's pulling from your cup, you may need to fill your own cup first. And you can't do that from an empty cup. So find a place that's a sanctuary just for you, even a tiny little space, and make that where you fill your own cup with love, where you fill your own cup with knowledge, where you fill your own whatever you need. And hopefully all of that makes sense. Apple tree. Abundance. When you make your quest through the desert, you will come upon abundance, which is number 2. So make the trek to find what you love. Make the trek to find what you need. If you're in a desert place and you need sustenance, be willing to make it to where you thrive and survive. Waterfall persistence. I'll say that's 42. Breaks out to 6. Keep going. It's all free flowing. There's like nothing you can do. Like, waterfalls, gravity takes over. It just slowly ways away. So be persistent. Keep marching forward. Keep free flowing. There's nothing that can be done other than just enjoying the ride. Wind, movement, 44. Air energy. How are you circulating the air around? How are you moving things? Keep pushing forward. Owl, intuition. This is 28. This is, we're going to say that's that divine cosmic knowledge and wisdom. So tap into that universal wisdom and the flows of nature. When the wind moves, you move with it. Yeah? All right. When you need something, listen to it. Like if your body is telling you desperately you need to sit down and you need to rest, listen to it. Maybe I need to listen to my own advice a little better because I don't know how to. And maybe that's why I keep bringing the message. It's to learn until I do. 33, Rose, love. Breaks out to 6. How are you loving yourself in order to love other people? How are you filling your own cup? Are you filling it with dreams and happiness and love? Or are you filling it with sadness, heartbreak, nonsensical stuff that, I don't know. Rose, love. You really have to be fighting for what you love. And this is just a thought for people out there. And like, I feel this towards men right now. It's like if you stand by and your hands are idle while that person or that thing that you love walks away from you and you did nothing, like, what the fuck? Do you really deserve love? Like, I've watched too many men that say that they love me but stood by as like I faded out of their life. And it's like, you knew I was disappearing, yet you watched idle and your hands did nothing. Like, you don't love me, you just loved what I did for you. Whew. So, then I had to realize that they were draining my cup. So, yeah. All right. 8 of Swords, mental imprisonment, releasing ourselves from things that no longer serve us. 6, balancing pentacles, balancing finances, home, career, stability. This card always reminds me of like Pisces energy with the light fish and the dark. I think there's a dark fish. But the dualities of like, you have to balance both your light and dark, your masculine and feminine, in order to get yourself out of that mental imprisonment. So judgment, heavy Libra energy, everything that's been done is coming to light, is coming to balance. This all started long before we ever got here. Knight of Swords, this is coming in fast, rapid. That movement is just, it's coming in hot. So the other part is that like, all of this really was set in motion long before you and me and whoever else got here. So when we think about like, oh, this is hard or this is that or the other thing, it's like, we can't stop what's happening because this started way before we got here. We just have to lean in, the star, lean in, embrace, make the best out of your situation, see the bigger picture for all of humanity. That's part of it too. When people want to say like, oh, I don't have this car. And it's like, well, that car is horrible for the environment. Maybe we should be making better judgments or calls or nurturing what we have and loving instead of trying to get the next biggest thing. I don't know. I don't know why that's like a theme right now, I guess. 7 of Swords, deceptions, betrayals, heartbreaks, being stabbed in the back. This is all mind games. This is nasty, nasty energy. And it's all done. It's all done. There's nothing that can be done to make it better. There's nothing. Well, you can make it worse. You can make it better, I guess, when you cut off the sources that are creating that stab, like that heartbreak, that stabbing, that judgment, anything that's keeping you stuck mentally. You have to be willing to say, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. Make that call. That makes your life better. Or it can make your life worse if you're like, oh, well, there's nothing I can do, and you just keep doing the bad thing. Like, yeah, it's my advice, like, step away from the things that rob you of your peace. 6 of Wands, balance. This is also like victory, success, when you let go of things, when you let go of like things that don't feel good. They just don't, like heartbreak, betrayal, deception, feeling angry never feels good. Walk away from people that make you feel out of character. That is the biggest thing. Learning your triggers, knowing when to walk away from things that take you out of character. Page of Cups. Follow your emotions. Your emotions are energy in motion. I'm not saying follow your emotions like in impetuous ways, but like start listening to your body. Start listening to what you want, what you need to nourish yourself. Yeah. What do you want in your cup? How do you want to build your life? Like, it doesn't matter what anyone else wants or what anyone else needs or what anybody, like, it doesn't. Because at the end of the day, they can't live your life. Only you can. So do what makes your little heart happy. And then if you have to, be brave enough to walk out on your own. But do what makes your heart happy, and then you'll find the people that like what you do too. Yeah. 9 of Pentacles. Building financial wealth. Walking away from the things that rob us of our peace mentally, physically, emotionally. We'll build our finances, our pentacles, our happiness, our stability. That's like living the good life. Yeah. All right. King of Wands. 4 of Swords. King of Wands. This is sitting in your passions. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, masculine. Like, you have a good life. You've built happiness. But make sure that you're doing it without betraying, without backstabbing, without hurting and leaving out. Because this is when there's that betrayal, that backstabbing. It's like you have to rest. You have to rest. Like, your whole foundation, your whole home has been built on things that have destroyed your happiness. Lies. So don't. Alright, let's see. 8 of Swords. Releasing yourself from mental prison. So release yourself from outdated ideas, thoughts, habits that your family, friends, society, anyone may have taught you about love, about anything. Be willing to walk out on your own and build that life that makes you happy. Let's see. I'm just pulling energy, going through. I'm going to pull from the Deep, Dark, and Dangerous Oracle. See if there's any cards in here. Maybe any guides that we need to embody. Maybe these are spirits around you that you need to be looking out for. Persephone, the journey. Actually, this is a beautiful, the journey, Persephone, 16:7. So these are options, choices. Persephone is fertility, light, beauty, love, and she is also the queen of the underworld. Which are you going to feed? Which do you love? Which are you a part of? Or who in your life is withholding you in the underworld? You can look at those either way. The journey in Persephone is about walking the path of light and dark, and you being the integration in the middle. Marrying the two between your light side and your dark side, or the the left hand path. It's how do you navigate and walk down the middle? That's the journey. Do you create good or do you create harm in the world with your path? And sometimes it's realizing that you have to lose a battle to win the war. So how do you rest, integrate, maybe Allow your shadow to protect you. Cycles. I'm going to say it all the way wrong. Jormungandr. Midgard. Serpent. Cycles. Jormungandr. I'm saying it all wrong, I know. Jormungandr. Midgard Serpent. Cycles. 34/7 options. Again, do you keep feeding the dark or do you keep feeding your light? And at any point you can say you no longer want to feed your dark. You really can. It is that easy, and start doing better and start doing right and paying people back for everything. So you get to choose. Do you continue on that cycle? Do you continue being in the underworld, or do you continue to bring in people light, happiness that embody your good side, your fertility, your growth, your everything? Persephone is about cycles. So how are you harvesting? How are you planting? How are you growing? Are you doing it with good intent? Or are you out here planting bad seeds? Hades, the underworld. You must transverse to the underworld to find your shadow first. You must make your peace with Hades. And this goes to 7 also. Your keys to divinity are looking at all of your choices that you make, all of the choices that you embody, and deciding whether you're going to keep feeding those cycles and those patterns and those choices or not. And it's all you. You have to travel into the underworld to decide, do you want to keep living this life or do you want to have a better day? And when you decide you want to have a better day, yeah, it's hard. You're going to have to claw yourself out of mental hells, mental places you didn't want to be in, around people you didn't want to be in, with. But you get to decide when you're done playing dark cycles or playing with Hades or playing with people that hurt you. You get to decide that. And then you get to claw out. So do that. Fetch. This is mirror 37. We'll call that 1 or 10, closing of cycles. How do you fall in love and integrate both sides of yourself? How do you find who you are between all of that and bring that to the world? Yeah. I love all these cards. These are beautiful cards today about transformation, like personal transformation. How do you... So this is a hard task that I myself personally had to do. I had to call back my shadow. And my shadow had been gone for a very long time, like a lot of lifetimes. So when I called it back, it was hard. It was painful. It took a minute. Yet when you start integrating all of those years, all of those ways that you've allowed yourself to give away a piece of yourself to other people, it takes a lot to call it back. So be willing to go into the realms of hell and say, you know what, you can't have this piece of me anymore. Energetically go into the realms, into those places in your mind that you closed off, and say, you know what, this isn't yours anymore. I'm taking it back. Be willing to make that. Medusa, injustice. Start raising your sword. Start turning men to stone that have hurt you. Your shadow is here to say, hey, you know what? That wasn't right what you did, and we can't keep doing that. And you know what? Sometimes it literally is just walking away from people. Like, it's not that they're ever going to change, but you have to be willing to change. You have to be willing to change. You have to be willing to put up your guard, like put up boundaries to protect yourself. And yeah, people are going to violate those boundaries, and you just have to stand 10 toes down and be like, yeah, you know what? You can't do that. We can't do that here. All right, let's get some affirmations. I'm going to pull some of those. Oh, as my cards fall upside down. All right, this is the Mindful Collective Daily Affirmations. I am Lara Joe, SirenSong lover. Should you wish to cash app or to donate to my ministry, you can send me donations at Cash App, which is Siren, capital S, Song, capital S, Lover, capital L. at Cash App. That's always appreciated. This knowledge is expensive. The tools were expensive. I do a lot of unpaid internship, which is, I've done a lot of that in my life. I've done a lot of that as a woman. I've done a lot of unpaid internship. So yeah. Anyway, a lot of us girls did that because we were like, oh, we need you to take care of this little kid over here. And it's like, I'm 10. Why am I taking care of a kid? Like, I didn't want to be a mom role at 10. So a lot of us were indoctrinated into unpaid internships since birth. Anyway, let's get some affirmations. My heart is open to receive love, joy, peace, wealth, and guidance. We're gonna. My heart is open to receive love, joy, peace, wealth, and guidance. You have to create space for what you want to come in. If you want love, you must create space for love. You can't be like, I want love, but then be closed off when somebody smiles at you. If you're not open, how can it come to you? And yes, that's definitely a message for me. My heart is open to receive love, joy, peace, wealth, and guidance. You have to first create the space for what you want to come through. You can't say you want it if you don't know what it's going to look like, feel like, smell like, embody in your life. Because when you get it, you're going to be like, this isn't what I wanted at all. Well, you didn't imagine what it would be like when you got it. So when you got it, you got freaked out because you didn't know what you were doing with it. And then you lost it. Yeah? Hopefully that makes sense. I guess I had that happen. I had a man that wanted a girlfriend, but he didn't know anything about having a girlfriend, what it would be like, the experience would be like, what that entailed. So he didn't hold that vibration for very long. And it was kind of like a learning lesson for both of us, but I kind of said that, like, you don't have any room for a woman in your life. How was I ever supposed to play a part in your life? Like, you didn't have any room for me. All you had room for was all this other stuff. Where was I supposed to fit into it? Like, you say you wanted these things, but you didn't actually have the proper care to have it. So when you want something, you have to make space for it. So you want love, tell the universe. Show the universe. My heart is open to receive love, joy, peace, wealth, and guidance. If you're saying you want it, be open for it. This is definitely... I'm not. It's too much. My soul is infinite and divine. It wasn't too much because my soul is infinite and divine. We are constantly expanding and growing. We always expand out from this point. So your soul is continually going because it's divine. Your energy will carry on in whichever direction you aim it. So make sure you're aiming it in a good direction. My soul is infinite and divine. Your art, your love, your pain, your legacy will live on past you. What do you want it to look like? I trust the universe is always 10 steps ahead of me. Yup, the universe knows what you want even when you don't know what you want. And actually, if you don't know what you want, the universe will engineer a clusterfuck for you so that you'll figure out better what you want. When the universe is 10 steps ahead of you and you give it something like chaotic, it's going to be 10 steps ahead of you. So when you're given chaos, it's just trying to tell you, like, hey, get very specific because I am 10 steps ahead of you. So when you ask for really big stuff, it's going to be really big stuff, like really cool stuff. So that is the other part. Like, start being amazed with how the universe winks and shows you love in the little ways, because that's you setting up your future for you. I guess a little relatable story about the universe being 10 steps ahead of me. I had gotten a tattoo a few years ago, and the day before I got it, I found a quote that I wanted, and I had her incorporate it in. And the quote at the time felt kitschy and didn't really make sense. And then 2 years later, it made sense because I had gone through the fires, I'd gone through the trials, and the quote had made sense because the quote was shine, not burn. And it truly is, as we evolve and grow, how do we become better? How do we forge ourselves into better versions of ourselves and not become consumed by it? So when life forges you in fire, come out shinier than ever. Don't become consumed by it. And I say all that to say that the universe was 10 steps ahead of me and giving me that quote, because I didn't know I'd need it until 2 years later when I was actually put in the fire. Like, I was tested by life. I was turned into a phoenix yet again, which is something I'm magnificent at, is being a phoenix, and the universe has set me up on that. Hello. I'm all right. How are you, love? I believe in myself. I believe, if I believe in any magical creatures today, it's me. Hope you're doing well, Cottage Country. All right. Well, come on in. We can clear out some energy. Declare it, man. Like, are you doing okay? Be like, I'm doing great today. Let's declare that. Start speaking things over your life. Like, it is always working out in your highest good. That's something I need to remind myself daily. It is always working out my highest good. It is always working out for my greatest good. Like, declare that on your life. Yeah? All right. Well, I'm going to take a break. Or take a break, but like, just if you want to come in and chit chat and... Hopefully you've gotten some messages from what I've been reading through. I know Doritos are about the worst thing I can be eating, but... Oh, Badger. Badger's better. That boy, I love